I'm doing this again. 2024, more like 2020 bore. Nothing even happened this year. Except I played games. I played a lot of games. I may have played too many games, actually. This video is going to be very similar to the one I posted last year, because it's just going to be, I go through all the games I played this year, the good ones, the bad ones, the disappointing ones, and then I'm also going to talk about my channel for a bit, because I want to. I also chose this outfit because I wanted to. Stop asking me these questions. I did something interesting this year, and I actually tracked what games I played, because last year I forgot about a game that I played that I really liked and wanted to talk about, which was Dweller's Empty Path, which is the game made by Temmie, who made Temmie in Undertale. What the fuck?
Hi, it's me editing this. Despite everything, I still forgot games. 2023, I forgot I played Alice Madness Returns. Great game. 2024, I forgot I played Looking Up, I See Only Ceiling, and the Relapse DLC. To give my thoughts real quick, I like the DLC more than the base game.
It's a really cute game, but that's not what we're talking about. That was 2023. We're talking about 2024 now. Okay. Anyways, now I'm going to talk about games in no particular order, except I'm probably starting with the ones I liked first. Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime. This is a DS game where you play as Rocket the Slime and you sling him around so that you can save all your slimy friends. This was a friend's childhood game and she told me to play it and I said okay, and I did, and I kind of liked it. The main appeal of it is that there are these massive tank battles, which are really cool. It's really fun to like run around it and try to collect ammo and try to beat your opponents first. There's actually some strategy to it, and also what like the people who you rescue you can use in the tanks, and that's pretty cool. I like that. It was fun. It's a nice little fun game. This guy's name is Rocket now because of that game. Fuck you, Rocket. I also played through Metal Gear Solid. I go sneaking, eking. I go sneaking like I'm Snake. Lolly-loo-lay-low. For real? I don't know if I loved it or if it's just because I really like Snake and going like, Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around. My Snake voice is not good, but what is good is my love for Christ. What? Why was that what I thought of? I took an improv class. It clearly has not worked. Oh yeah, it was really fun, like, sneaking around like Snake and doing all that stuff. My brain is not in my head right now. One of the things I found interesting about it was, like, its use of secondary media. Mainly because, like, during a part of the game, there's like, I don't remember the codec number. Oh, it's on the back of the box! And you have to look at the back of the CD box that it came in, the case, to see the code, and that is really cool. It kind of sucks because you can't really do something like that again in the modern day, which that kind of sucks, but overall I really like the game. I'm hoping that I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 2 before I crumble. I think I kind of like the more grounded realisticness of Metal Gear Solid 1. Catherine Fullbody. Her body is full of what? Blood. This is a game where you're a 30-year-old man and you experience nightmares in your underwear about like sheep and blocks falling and you have to go up, and also you're getting married, and also you're cheating on her, and also there's a third one. They're all named Catherine. I want to be talking about it later because it came at a time where I really needed it, to be honest. A game with this box art. Of course, there's Persona 3 Reload. That was pretty good. I bought the game for $7. It was a good story, good combat. I like sharing the experience with my friends. I may have ruined one of the most emotional parts because of a joke I made. It's probably my favorite Persona game. Probably. I've been feeling weird about Persona for a bit just because I feel like I'm remembering them wrong, or I just experienced them wrong, whatever that means. I think it's just because other people have such high praise for it and I don't, that it makes me feel weird about it. But whatever, it's still a good game. I did almost cry at a couple of points. Metroid Dread. Samus is really cool, and I like her a lot. She's so cool. I love Samus Aran. She is my friend. This was like really the first Metroidvania that I actually played, and I really liked the presentation. The combat was pretty fun, and the action, atmosphere. Honestly, I think I just liked looking at Samus. I have a lot of screenshots of her. She's so cool. I played Ace Attorney 4 and 5 in the Apollo Justice trilogy. I haven't gotten to 6 yet. This is my second time playing through Apollo Justice, and I think it's my favorite game because it's the only one that I've actually played through multiple times. I did beat 5 recently, and I think it is pretty good. I think it's a little bit rough at the beginning, and like the newer animations are pretty good, but all the ones that are like returning from a previous game, like they're adapting Phoenix Wright being Phoenix Wright, I think it's a little bit rough. It's also the most Danganronpa Ace Attorney game I have ever played. I'm going to spoil the DLC episode. After Phoenix Wright has his fucking brain blast, his like psychic taxi, I'm gonna play Hangman now. The whole thing was just about like how on the walkie-talkie that like the guy One Piece gave you is like the teeth marks on it don't match with the teeth marks of Orla. So, to prove this, instead of showing the picture with the different teeth marks from the original person who died, 2 orcas. 2 orcas! There was no reason to think that. That's how it... 2 orcas! I replayed Sayonara Wild Hearts because I have the physical copy and I needed to justify using it, and it was really cool. I felt like I was being... like the game was extending from my TV. That was really cool. I think that's a good game. If you haven't played it, play it. Please, now, do it, do it, do it, do it. I played Going Under. This was the first game by the people who made Another Crab's Treasure, Aggro Crab. And it's a nice roguelike that has like a bunch of corporate theming to it. You dive into defunct startup businesses like a dating app where you only speak in emojis. Unlike other roguelikes, you're probably not going to be playing through it 100 different times. It's just not built that way, but otherwise it is pretty fun. I do also want to mention The Demon Bartender and Shadow Jackie, for no particular reason. Slay the Princess is so cool. It's really cool. It's one of the only games that I felt like there's infinite possibilities. The less you know about it, the better. And also, I now sometimes say heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lung, liver, nerves. I sometimes say that to myself, and it does not help me to calm down. It makes things worse. Balatro. I really like playing cards. I haven't mentioned it much on this channel, but I really like playing cards. I have a whole collection of playing cards. I really like the aesthetic, and Balatro gives me that. And also, I don't know how to play poker, and I don't need to because Balatro is so cool. He's like my dad. Game of the year. The Disillusion was a game that I played because Ina isn't out yet, and it hurts my eyes, it gives me a headache, but it's also pretty wacky and cool. I haven't beaten it because I am so tired. So moving on to the next one, we have Squirrel Stapler. A normal game. If you've ever seen this game, you probably know it because of the God is here part. It's honestly a pretty effective horror game that just takes place in the forest. You never truly know if you're alone. It's an interesting game. So I'm gonna explain it a little bit more. Your goal of the game is to hunt down squirrels so that you can give your dead wife skin and you piss off God. I feel like it was made by somebody who is important, who has made something else that is like pretty cool. I don't even know if I'm in frame. It was made by David Szymanski. Dude, of course. That's why it was important. He made Iron Lung. So, I mean, I've already talked about Buckshot Roulette, but I also played Unsorted Horror by Mike Klubnika, which is almost the rest of his discography. And honestly, the games are pretty interesting. He's a pretty interesting fella. So I also played Mouthwashing, and it's a pretty interesting game because like it's just such a really unique experience. I played their previous game, How Fish Is Made, and this is a really fucked up thing that they made, but it's really well done. The characters are really well written, the emotional parts are pretty cool. I kind of have a debate or a kerfuffle with one of my friends about Swansea. I don't really like Swansea. I think he is an asshole. I feel like even if his intentions were good, a lot of his actions were not good. And like he's nowhere near as bad as Jimmy. Fuck Jimmy. But also like, I don't know, I just never like, he never really clicked with me as a guy. Like I wouldn't want to go and get a beer with him. What I was saying was true. It's a really good game and it's really cool. I like it. Return of the Obra Dinn. This is a game made by Lucas Pope, who also made one of my favorite games of all time, Papers, Please. And again, something is fucked up in my brain because it's not my favorite game ever. Like, a lot of people will say, like, this is one of the best indie games ever, and I'm like, I liked it. It is a really good, like, mystery game. You play as an insurance person, and you find out all the fates of all the people on the Obra Dinn, and what you do is you see, like, vignettes of a person's death, and you use that to piece together clues to figure out the identity and circumstances of death for all the people on the ship. And it's really cool and it's really well done. I don't think it's my favorite game of all time, like people are saying, but it is really cool. Enjoy the Diner is a really interesting game. It's a visual novel. You're trapped in a diner that exists beyond space and time, and you're supposed to try to figure out a way out and also all the secrets. It's really interesting and it's really cool. I like it. I think I tie a lot of value to it because of the experience that I have playing it. That whole period of time where I was playing it is some of my favorite gaming moments of all time, and it's difficult to explain because it's only for me. But the game is good, and I like it. It's pretty underrated. Check it out. And then here's one of my favorite games of all time now, In Stars and Time. Why did I say it so weird? In Stars and Time. It's a time loop game. You're stuck in a time loop at like the very end of a JRPG. It's a very effective psychological horror. I really like Sifrin. He's just like me, for real, for real. Sifrin's so cool, actually. Sifrin's my friend. It's difficult to explain exactly why I love In Stars and Time without spoiling it. So I highly recommend checking it out. It gets compared to Omori a lot, and they're both pretty similar games, but this one has better pacing. And it's also better. Fuck you, Omori. Alright, okay. Other notable games that I played. That's Not My Neighbor. Turnip Boy robs the bank. I played like half of the Resident Evil 4 remake. I would like to play it a bit more, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't hook me that much. Pizza Tower, I played Pizza Tower. Dicey Dungeon, What the Car, which is a sequel to What the Golf. I played Darkest Dungeon, Nightmare Cart, and Animal Well. So now I'm going to talk about like some of the disappointing games and worst games I played. Again, thankfully, all the worst ones I played were just 4 videos, and I'll talk about more of them there, but I do want to talk about some of the disappointing ones I played. Not necessarily bad games, just ones that disappointed me in some way. Like Dredge. I think the issue is that I was really hooked with the Lovecraftian horror side of it, and not the fishing side of it. I think that type of gameplay is just not for me. Good thing I own this game 3 times. Children of the Sun. You control the bullet that kills a bunch of cultists. It's a really interesting puzzle game, to be honest. It's a lot of style, but I'm like, I just lost interest. I'm only 7 missions away from actually beating the game, and I just lost interest. Maybe that's a me problem. The Plucky Squire. That's been one that people have been talking about. I played it because my dad played it, and it's not really a bad game. I think it's just a little bit too simple. Like, the puzzles and challenges only really get good once the game is about to end. Also, the shoot 'em up, I like that. It feels like a good game that you could give to a child on the street. Not necessarily for me, a pro gamer. Okay, Sucker for Love First Date is one that I will talk about a bit more later. It's a sequel to Sucker for Love, and it's just that. More Sucker for Love. It doesn't really do anything better or worse, but it's just, like, didn't really meet my expectations. Yars Rising. Okay, I got it at launch, I played through it. It's based, I will make a video about it because I made a video about the entire Yars franchise, and then they announced this game, so I will talk about it. But basically, it's just a very mid Metroidvania. Persona 5 Tactica is one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. If I ever make an hour-long video essay diving into why a particular game is bad, it would probably be this one. The issue is I would have to play through the game again. So, here's my mini review of Persona 5 Tactica. The combat is great. It's a strategy game like Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and it's really good, the gameplay is solid. I did have to play through the whole game on the hardest difficulty setting because it was so easy. I was still like beating the levels first try. That's how bad it is. Boss fights can also go on for a bit too long. I don't like that. Each of the characters feel unique. All of the personas give unique attributes. I really like Lavenza and how she makes them. The issue is in the writing and the story. The writing is not up to par with the rest of the Persona series. Some of the characters feel a little bit flat. I did like the wedding sequence though. It did let me be gay. Arena is one of the new characters, and other people don't like her. I honestly do like her. I can't admit that her old character is just pretty flat and basic. I'm gonna spoil the story now, which you shouldn't care because it's not good. The whole story is a character analysis of Toshiro, who is a politician from the real world, and each of the kingdoms relate back to some trauma that he has. And the whole story is him getting over the trauma and like developing from it, becoming a better person, okay? And that's honestly pretty cool. I really like that. But then you get to the third kingdom, and you beat his final trauma, and that should have been it. But now the god of preservation is here, and you have to kill him because it's a Persona game. And it really didn't need any god that's like forcing everybody to be in their own little safe space to preserve themselves. It didn't need that. It just needed Toshiro becoming really cool. Okay, this last one will get me into the most trouble. I did not care for Cult of the Lamb. I think the gameplay is good. I did get into the cult development part of it for a bit. The cult development part and the gameplay roguelike part, they mesh together pretty good. What you do in the cult affects or gives you buffs and whatever for what you do in there. In the roguelike part, it's pretty cool. The issue is that the further you go into the game, the more you have to do for the cult, when all I wanted to do was just go back into a run and beat the game. So now, like, every time I died in run, I'd have to go around to my entire cult and do a bunch of whatever, and then go back into the game, and I really did not like that. I don't think I like any of these life sim type games. I think that's on me. I think there's only one game that I actually outright hated, and I will talk about it more later, and it's kind of ironic given some of this, is Nekopara. As for anticipated games, I played most of the ones from last year. Good for me. I didn't end up playing Pal World because I don't care, and Panda Circus and Ina are not out yet. And that makes me really sad because I really want to play Ina. There's not a lot that I'm really anticipating that I'm interested in this time. mainly Xenoblade X Chronicles Definitive Edition, Slay the Spire 2, Date Everything, because you can date everything, Deltarune, please, and Ina, and Panda Circus, but Ina, please. So I'm gonna quickly go through some of the things about what I thought about this year of making videos, because surprisingly, I've uploaded more this year than I did last year. I think it's 13 videos. I went a period for a class where I uploaded once per week, and that was an interesting time. I don't think I really want to do something like that again. I think once per month is pretty good. I also ended up breaking the trend of uploading once per month. I just got really busy with school, and then I got really sad, and now I'm sad and busy. I did upload shorts. I like making them. They're easier to make, and they also just like, I can just take from a video that I did and post that. That's cool. Maybe get a larger audience. I also did some original ones like Bartender DS and the whole Flooded Bathroom Chronicles. I would like to make more videos in that sort of vein. So a little bit of context for that one at least. The bathroom in my dorm just started like leaking from the base, and I put in a work order. A month later, they're still not here. So I had to put in a second work order, and they had to completely take out the toilet and replace it. But it did get fixed. I don't know what the fuck my roommates were doing because they weren't putting in a work order either. The Buckshot Roulette video short that I posted, I fixed a typo from the video that I missed. But also, I have the screenshot, and it's really funny. Just gay, gay, gay. I showed the screenshot to my friend, and she got all, like, concerned. I don't care. It's funny. As for the future of this channel, I have video ideas. I have a couple that are already, like, filmed. I just need to edit them together. I have ones that are, like, in the middle process, and ones that are still just scripts, and some that are still just ideas in my head. I want to keep making videos. I just have no idea what my life is going to look like even 3 weeks from now, so I'm not going to guarantee anything. I will share a clip. And I am a fucking nerd. Look forward to that at some point. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, I guess. I don't know. I hope to continue making videos soon. I won't guarantee when they'll come out, but I do guarantee I will make more videos. Anyway, I'm going to finish this bottle of mouthwash.